Hi, I'm Luke Baldry from Audient, and I'm here at Full Compass today to talk about the ID22. ID22 is a USB 2 interface and connects directly to your computer. The idea behind ID22 is to take some of those elements that Audient are very famous for, like our mic pre's, our experience with monitor controllers, and just our aim really to make everything sound as good as possible and incorporate it all into a small package that would suit a small or medium-sized studio. On the front end we have two mic pre's. This is the same mic pre's that we have in our ASP008 and Miko, so it's a very high quality mic pre. You can plug line input in as well. You have balanced inserts, so you can add your outboard at that point, your compressor or EQ for example. You've got two of your main outputs that are driven from the main monitor output here. You also have an alternate pair of outputs that could drive an alternate speaker or perhaps a headphone amplifier for a QSEN mix. Outputs 5 and 6 drive the headphone output, and that completes the channel count for the output side. As I said, this is the monitor output level. You've got a dim button, a cut button, and then you have these three function buttons here. And these are programmable by the user. So within our mixer app, you have various functions that you can set up, and one of the things you can do is to set one of these functions here. For example, I'm clicking on the mono button. You can assign that to function button 1 or any of the function buttons by right-clicking or double-clicking on a Mac. The drop-down menu allows you to choose one of those function buttons. You click on that, and then that is now selected. So when you press function button, that's now selecting the mono button. You could do the same sort of thing as an alternate speaker output on function 2, and function 3 in this case is set to talkback. You can add a talkback microphone to one of the microphone inputs, or even via ADAT if you've got an ADAT device that's got a microphone input. There are various features within the software that allow you to set up different functions. Here, for example, you've got a level to control the alt speaker, so you can balance the level of your alt speakers against the main speakers. There's a trim button here for your dim level. You have a routing matrix here, so you can set where the main mix is going to. So logically, as I have here, you've got the main mix routed to outputs 1 and 2. You could set the alt speaker to go out to outputs 3 and 4, and you could use the QSENs, for example, to run through to the headphone output on 5 and 6. And the left-hand side of this software here, this is the mixer section, so this is really what routes through to the monitor section, and this is the area that you would use to create a low latency mix if you were recording, maybe self-recording, or adding something and you don't want to have a problem with latency. So you would bring down your mix here, for example, from your DAW system, and you'd send out to Q level here, and then you bring your microphone into one of the channels here and then send that to the QSend, and then you've very quickly set up a low latency mix. And you route here, you could say, okay, I want QA to be routed here to the headphones, and there it is. That's all you have to do. A lot of the time, that mixer app will sit in the background in your system, and during a mix process, for example, you might never come to the mixer app. It just sits there and comfortably gets on with its thing in the background. Now, going back to the hardware, you can also expand the system via ADAT, because we've got ADAT I/O on the back of the system. So you could add one of our ASP008s, for example, via ADAT, and then expand the system to 10 channels rather than the 2 that you have as standard. So you could then be in a situation where you could record drums or anything that's multi-channel. In a similar way, that optical input could actually accept an SP-diff signal, and then you could add a Miko, and if you like the functions on the Miko, like the vary phase or the HMX, or you just need 4 channels of mic pre, then you could do that very easily by adding that. Now I think we should play some music so you can get to hear what ID22 sounds like. This recording was made in a community hall, nothing very special in terms of acoustics, no gobos. We used an ASP008 to expand the number of inputs because we were recording drums, and this is what we got. So to sum up, the ID22 is a perfect interface for a small studio. By expanding it with an ASP008, it would also suit a medium-sized studio. It's got everything you need. It connects to everything you got. You never have to worry about upgrading the mic pre's because it's got the mic pre's, the best mic pre's of any interface. It's got a really nice, friendly, easy to use monitor controller, and that, as I mentioned, with the expandability really makes it a great product. For more information, you can go to fullcompass.com or speak to your Full Compass sales associate. Thank you.